Hey.
What's up,
How you going, Will?
Figsy?
Not much yourself, Will? How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? What have you been up to this past week since we saw you last?
I've been playing lots of Stardew Valley.
It's funny you bring up that farming game. This morning, I started tilling my. I got a little 10 by 10 patch in the patio of just dirt, and I just been. It's fucking hard work being a farmer.
Have you got sprouts in there yet?
No, I got the sunflowers. I planted those last week in a different little patch. I think I might put in grass. I don't know yet. My girlfriend says no. I'm still on the fence about it. Maybe I'll just do more flowers. Who knows? But yeah, that's what I've been doing, farming for reals.
Nice.
And in Stardew Valley, unfortunately. But
We've got him hooked, guys. He's hooked. Hook, line, and sinker. It's been a heap of fun, honestly, playing multiplayer.
Yeah, you gotta freaking stream that shit. Let the people see and hear the bullshit we talk. It's a good time. So Pigsy, tell me, who do we have on today?
So we are episode number 45 of the PlayStation Collectors Podcast. And tonight we have Finn Ravens on the show. Now, Finn is a full set North American PS2 collector, and he's also going for all the variants for the PS2, which is quite an incredible task. So please welcome Finn to the show, guys. Hey, Finn, how's it going?
Hey. So, thanks for having me, Figsy and Will. This will be a fun one, I think.
The production value is through the roof on this program. Finn,
that's not a green screen, by the way.
It looks amazing too.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I probably spent about about an hour today doing the lighting and everything. So trying to minimize the glare. The right-hand corner has a little bit of a glare, but you can see most of it. So I'm happy with how it turned out.
It looks great. All the good stuff gets talked about before we come on the show. And I was just telling Finn, this is one of the prettiest backdrops we've ever had to anybody. So nice flex, buddy. It looks great.
I don't try to flex anymore. I don't feel
oh man. Oh, I love flexing my games. It's one of the
Mr. Fancy Pants.
The minute I get a game, I'll freaking take a picture. Look at what I got. Look at what I got.
Okay, maybe I do it still.
And then I just fucking eat up all the likes. I love that shit. But at any rate,
it's one thing showing it to your friends, but showing it to other collectors who appreciate it's another thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Finn, tell us about yourself and tell us about your collection.
So I am a NTSC or North American PlayStation 2 collector. I received my first PS2 system back in actually 2005, so relatively late. It was a Christmas gift, and the first game I actually got for the console was Need for Speed Most Wanted, which I actually have playing on the lower CRT in the background right now. I started collecting for PlayStation 2 very, very heavily, probably around 2018. At that point, I think I had maybe 150-ish PS2 games, and I said, we do a challenge. And here we are, 2023. I have the full set. So I finished the set, what was it, sometime last year, I think around August? Yeah, I believe it was last year around August. Maybe a little sooner than that. So
just last year, huh?
It was a lot of dedication. I mean, I lived on eBay. Just mostly research.
When COVID hit and shit started going, how many games were left to get for you?
Well, that would have been what? It hit mid or early 2019. I think I was probably at that halfway mark. And games weren't quite spiking for the PS2 as much as they were for other consoles. I did notice an increase, but I mean, even today's market, it's pretty outrageous for any kind of games for any console. There's a lot.
And when you say full set, you've got a full Black Label set, and I'm assuming it's all complete as well.
Right. So what's basically behind me is I took out the variants, and actually, if you look on the far left-hand side, I have a secondary room for all of my greatest hits, box sets, and Black Label variants. I have almost a complete shelf of what you see basically behind me of nothing but Black Label variants. So there's almost 500 of those that I at least know of and currently have. I'm probably missing about 150 of them, if I'm being honest still. There's so many. Behind me, so the full Black Label non-variant library, the main first print. There are 1,818 PlayStation 2 games, if you're not including the 4 that were only released in Greatest Hits. And then the top of, trying to figure if this is left or right, that way. So above those 2 shelves are all of the trilogy and double packs. And then on the other 2 shelves, basically that's kind of what spilled over, like the Ys and Zs of the main PS2 library.
Yeah, I've said it before. Each console will reach a perfect age, in that perfect spot of when shit starts shooting up, everybody starts chasing it. People who were have nostalgia for it hit that age and they got disposable income, and PS2 is a smack dab in the middle of that shit right now.
If I had what I had in 2018, like 150-ish games, there's no way I would be out of my mind trying to go for a full set right now. I couldn't do it.
So tell me, what was the last game? What was the final nail in the coffin for the Black Label set?
Oh, see. God, there was like 5 of them that eluded me for a while.
Did they all come at the same time, or?
No, they were. I was probably paying double, triple their value. Just trying to find them because they're just the ones that the last 10 or 15 I was missing. They just weren't even available, regardless of price.
I know that.
That was my issue. I know FIFA 13 was one of the last 25 I got. FIFA 14 was actually a little bit easier to get. Let's see if I have my old list.
I can agree with that. I've got FIFA 14 and I'm missing FIFA 13 for PS2.
Yeah.
That reminds me. There was an episode of the quiz that I lost, and I said FIFA 14.
Oh yeah, I messaged you right after too. I was like,
well, I actually went back and checked, and it was actually Joe who answered incorrectly.
Wait, what?
So Joe was the one who lost the point.
Either way, I won. It's me. Thank you, Finn. Finn messaged me. You got that one wrong, man.
Yeah.
But no, I never found it for 14. When I was in the thick of my PS2 collecting, that's where I first met Finn. Well, as much as you can on Facebook and online and through chats. No, and that one never came into my. I never found it. I'm not one to hunt very much on eBay back then. Most of my shit was found in the wild, which I was very proud of that fact. But where do you hunt when you were primarily looking for games?
So I was fortunate to be able to get into the hobby kind of like in the in-depth that I did. I did have a traveling job. So that was probably the crown jewel of being actually able to do that. I would have paid a fortune more if I had to buy, all of them on eBay or Mercari or any kind of online services. So I was pretty much just going from state to state as I worked. And it kind of allowed me to go to different game stores on my lunch or after hours. It worked out really well.
So pawn shops, Goodwills,
everything.
Everything?
I stopped going to like thrift stores probably 2020. They were just overshopped. It almost felt like a waste of time after a while, especially Goodwills. Like Goodwills today, you'd have to go in morning and then night twice a day to even try to find anything. It just walks too quickly. Game stores are really good. Pawn shops are a little bit better. I remember when I traveled quite a bit into Michigan, the northern like Detroit area, it's heaven if you love pawn shops. And I did relatively well out there as well. I even went to Texas for some game huntings. Did well out there as well. Got to go to Dallas, went down to Austin, pretty much all across the state. And it definitely helps because if you can only, let's say, drive for about an hour out of your like comfort zone or just home area distance, you overshop that yourself for what you need. You definitely need if you can't travel maybe make friends in different states. Just give them 5 games to look out for whenever they go shopping. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, Fixie's the king of networking. Fucker's got shit from
Networking's
there.
key,
And
man.
everywhere.
I love
Networking
to
is
read
so
that.
crucial when you're trying to go for any. I think it's almost any kind of library.
There's a
Goodwill.
point in what you said, Finn, how your area will be oversaturated in the games that you need, but then there'll be another point to that there'll be games in your area that other people will need because they can't find them. So you can always pick them games up and trade them with
You can
someone who
do
can
the buddy
potentially
system.
find games.
That works out really well. I am remembering now. One of the last 5 games I needed, and there's probably a few on eBay now. It's probably not as hard to find as it was just that, I guess, that week or whatnot. Digimon Rumble Arena 2, I believe.
Yep.
So.
You should have hit me up. I had that one at one point.
Yeah, that one, God, I think price charting probably had it at like $80-$90 at the time that I needed it. I think I paid $150-$140 for it, something
Jesus.
like almost double for it. Just, I mean, when you're 5 away, you want to complete the set. You're getting really excited now.
I've overpaid for the last game in my set. I
You're
paid
waiting.
$180. It's now going on eBay for like $100. So it is what it is.
I mean, I did box sets videos. I'm missing a few box sets. One of them is kind of a more common one. It's one of the Grow Lancers Generations Deluxe Edition box. Has the pin, watch. I think
Yeah, I was gonna say
card sets.
the one with the watch in it.
Yeah, I overlooked that one for many, many years. Now it's $400 plus. I just don't want to. You know what I mean? It's available, but
You got to.
It's one of those now that I will get when I'm ready to pull the trigger on it. It's available.
Yeah, I
it's just
understand that.
$400. Not today, Satan.
Finn, you gotta have a big giant trade pile of shit, don't you? Or
I do, yeah. I could probably actually ask someone for that. I mean, I got a whole. Actually, I have probably what I have on eBay is probably one of those 4 shelves equivalent. Mostly PS2, some PSP stuff, Vita, PS4. So, actually got quite a bit of rare stuff coming up for sale. Like, I have 2 of these.
oh,
And the game inside is sealed. This is the really, I don't even know what to call it. I think this was a Mexico exclusive for a while. So
I proudly still have a full PS2 SingStar set. I can say that with pride. And SingStar Latino was one of the hardest ones to find for me as well. Where did I get it? It was GameFly. I got it off GameFly. They sent it. It was just a disc. I sourced a reproduction cover, and it sits downstairs. It's funny how with the PlayStation 2, actually with a lot of systems, some of the rarest games are just under the radar. They're ignored. Nobody cares about them. And meanwhile, you got something as common as Rule of Rose on PS2, which is readily available if your pocket's deep enough. But you got rarities like you got that darts game, that stupid ass darts game.
PDC World Championship darts. It's funny how that works. It's a lot of times it's what is it? A popular game gets expensive due to popularity, and you don't even realize there's some very uncommon games that are just actually rare. And it might be a crap game, like a sports tile or something odd, like the PDC darts game. It's just kind of happens. And I realized that when I was getting really close to finishing the set, I was like, oh, I know what actual scarcity means, not rarity.
Yeah, it's
or
different.
a popular expensive game, like Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi G3, for example. That one's $200 now.
Jesus.
I've
had that thing come in and out of my collection so many times.
Oh yeah.
Did that one get a greatest hits release?
Yeah, it got a greatest hits release.
So there's at least 500,000 Black Label copies out there.
Yeah, so it's not
600,000, I believe, for PS2. For it to be qualified for a greatest hits release, it had to be 600,000 or more. This is North American, by the way. I don't know for platinum hits is PS2, right? For you guys,
I thought it was 500 for ours.
I'd have to double check that. I think it's 600,000, and then PS2 or PS1 for us for greatest hits, I think it was 400,000. So
regardless, that's
quote me on that,
copies out there on the market.
But I mean, that's a lot of copies for a single game.
Yeah, but this with DBZ Budokai Tenkaichi 3, it's a good game. It's fucking like
It's really fun.
It's the pinnacle of fucking Dragon Ball games, and Dragon Ball is fucking a juggernaut of a what would I call it? Not series, but you know what I mean.
It's a really great fighter.
I'm hoping with the announcement of the new one that the price might actually come down.
And you know what? Speaking of sort of on Tenkaichi 3, people ignore Ultimate Tenkaichi on PS3. Is that it's not Budokai Tenkaichi, but it's an Ultimate Tenkaichi? Is it a Tenkaichi game? Is it 4? Is the new one going to be 5? I don't know. It's sitting on my collection. I'm just trying to boost the price of my own shit. So
I think you made a really good point with Rule of Rose. I think you could go back in history and there wouldn't have been a point in time where you couldn't have found Rule of Rose on eBay. Always on eBay. There's always 10, 15 copies for $500 to $1,000.
Kind of how Rule of Rose is in the same bracket as Kuan. Rule of Rose being the second rarest for North America and Kuan being the first as far as actually expensive.
Well, most expensive, not rarest.
I wouldn't say rare, yeah.
2008, 2009, when I bought my copy of Kuan, it still has the $12.99 GameStop sticker on it. I paid $13 for it. Like, it's, $1,500 now? I mean, I've seen them go from $750 over the last month to like $1,500. Like, it's just a wild range. And I'm like, why? There's like 15 or 20 of them listed on eBay at any given time. It's like, that's a crazy range.
Well, it's got a bit of notoriety to it, I mean,
it does,
not to mention the.
It's actually a really good game. I don't know if you guys have played it. I enjoyed it. It's creepy. It's very creepy. It's well done.
I've heard it's weird.
It's got
it is. Yeah,
it's got that Japanese horror. Number one, it's horror, and and every trendy motherfucking collector's like, oh, what's your favorite kind of game? Oh, I love horror games. Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, you just fucking jumping on the goddamn bandwagon. Go for horror games. You'll never hear me say my favorite game is horror games. It's not. It's just not for me. But it's trendy, and it's cool to say you are. But that's one of the reasons why. Roller Rose, Kuon. What's the other one? What are the other top? Haunting Ground and
Blood Will Tell.
Blood Will Tell.
Dot Hack Quarantine is the fourth in the series. That's a heavy one.
Yeah, so. Blood Will Tell it's a hack and slash really, but it's I wouldn't call it horror at all. But no, the top three are
horror.
The top three are horror: Haunting Ground, Kuon. Roll Rose.
Silent Hill Shattered Memories is like $400 now, so it's probably fourth.
You could put that in there.
So
easily.
that's up there.
The PAL version is just as expensive.
Is it? Wow.
And something like Haunting Grounds, you can pick up a cheaper PAL copy.
I did notice a year or two after COVID, like 2020, PAL games were so cheap, and because of how expensive American games got, we like really elevated the PAL prices of games.
It all rolls downhill.
Yeah, we pulled up that market. It's kind of unfortunate.
Some games, but then if you look at games like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the PAL copy is $500. Wow. You can get an American copy for like $150.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of disparities. You don't see correlations until you really look at like the PS3 and PS4 until you get the region-free systems. When it's region locked, a lot of people like to stick to their own systems.
It's easier that way. I get that.
It makes sense too. Like, I've got North American PS3 games. I can play them. If I want to play my North American PS2 games, I have to get a certain console set up. I gotta get attachments for the plugs because even the plugs aren't going to plug into my wall here.
Oh, that's right. You guys have that. You guys are like 20 volts or something, or 220 volts. Yeah. So.
And they've got the triangle things and like you don't even think about these things,
When it comes to okay, let's see. Here in America, you got a PAL console, you got all the freaking hookups for the wall. Will it work on an NTSC tube television?
I'm assuming a question because I know because we're like 60 hertz or like 59 hertz, and you guys are I think 50 hertz.
Yeah, we were today we're not because
Well, PAL and NTSC. No, I mean it's a TV format. And 50 hertz versus 60 hertz. Ours are full 60 frames per second. You guys got stuck with 50 frames per second, which is why everybody took a shit when they put out the PS2 Classic and it was full of PS2 or PS1 Classic and it was full of PAL games. What the fuck is this? We're missing 10 frames per second, you fuckers. But I don't. Will it work though? That's my question. I don't know. I've never encountered a PAL TV. I've never had a PAL PS2 and plugged it into a NTSC TV. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it would work. As long as the power is correct, you should be fine.
Yeah, if anyone in the comments knows.
Burnout Domination the other day, and when I loaded it up, it had an interesting option. I was playing the PAL version, and it had me select 50 hertz or 60 hertz. Oh. And if you click the 60 hertz, you then have to confirm on the next screen, and you have to be able to see that screen to confirm. That's a nice little touch to a game.
It confirms. That's good.
Finn, do you got the giant PS2 set? Do you have any PS1, or do you chase any PS1? Any interest in PS1 or PS3 for that matter? So
I don't really. I got rid of quite a bit of my PS3 stuff and some of my PS4 stuff. The stuff that the wife and I just didn't want to play. I probably have 125, 150 titles or something for PS3. Maybe 300-400 PS4 games, which are upstairs. PS1, sadly, I sold about 250 of my PS1 games months before COVID hit. I do regret that. A game that the wife and I were talking about today, kind of earlier this morning, is getting Wild Arms, the first one. Since I have all of them on PS2, she wants to really get into some of the classic RPGs, and I had all of them. Don't sell your games. This is my best advice. It's just, you're going to buy them again. I mean, how many times did I trade in a game as a kid and want it 2 years later? Happens every other year. I mean, how many times have we can all admit to that? It's happened.
Especially in games where you've got 2, 3, and 4 on PS2, but you're missing number 1 and it was on PS1. It's kind of like, well, if I want to play them, I want to go back and play the first one.
Like Suikoden, or I think some people call it Suikoden. Like
Suikoden. Thank you. All right, carry on.
All righty. The second one is just godly expensive now. It's like I had them all. Don't sell your games is my best advice if you want to be a collector. I do have quite a bit of PS1 games. I don't really showcase those too often. I actually have a CD rack that was kind of designed for CDs. I think it's called a Power Tower, and it holds 100 CDs, which conveniently fits the jewel cases for the PS1 games perfectly. And it's motorized, so it actually spins almost on a rotisserie. I've been looking for another one of those. Unfortunately, the only brand that I was able to ever find that was made, I think it's a Brickstone, was recalled because of the, I think one of the motors was a fire hazard or something. And
shoot up some little girl's hair.
Or that, I took mine apart and resoldered the joints because 2 of the soldering points were very close together. That's probably created a short after a while, and well, there's your fire. So didn't want that to happen in my household.
Yeah,
I'm flirting with the PS2. Just recently, I situated my shelves, and I pulled some PS2 games that I had left from my collection off of the B shelf. The B shelf is in the back. Okay. It's in my kid's room with all the Nintendo games, and I put them into my collection front and forward, and I'm missing about that many games, so just to fill in the shelf. So I'm going to get that many PS2 games, I think, and then call it a day. So it's just a matter of which games to get. Finn, AJ would like to know what was a common title that you had a lot of issues tracking down.
PDC World Championship Darts, which we kind of went over earlier, was one of them. It's pretty big. Before, I think I was even one that accidentally shed light on that.
Oh, you totally did.
Whoops.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, I've admitted my faults in the past with Cake Mania. That was also another one that was really hard for me to find. And then when I shed light to it, I started buying a ton of copies of it. I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
That was another one. The darts game, I don't know why. That one, I thought that was a PAL exclusive for the longest.
You didn't think of the Brits are really big in the darts, dude. I just found that one.
I found a copy for $2 over here.
Yeah.
It's a cheap and common game. I didn't even think anything of it,
dude. Let me interrupt. I got a story about PDC darts. I found a copy about a month ago, maybe a month or two back. I made a $20 offer on it. It was some old lady out over there, and old ladies are the best place to get games from. And I
you
was,
want this DVD?
and me and my dumbass, I was boasting to all my friends. I was bragging. Oh, look what I got! I'm gonna go pick this up. And I started sending pictures. I sent them pictures of the price shot, a screenshot from price charting. And in my dumb acidness, I accidentally sent the screenshot to the little old lady as well of the price charting with the full price on.
Oh Lord.
I'm done.
Yeah, she she gave it to me anyway. So
That's nice, dear. Nice to know how much money you're making.
so yeah, I went over there. I picked that game up. I was like, yeah, the thing was in beautiful shape. The Japanese and little old ladies have the shit in the best condition because they only keep the games there, so when their little grandkids come down to visit for the summer, they can play with them. But
I just want to give a quick shout out to someone in chat. Shout out to Sean Bentley for 50 months in a row subscribed on Twitch. That's absolutely amazing, Sean. Really appreciate it, man. I hope you're doing well.
What are you doing, man?
I love that.
Here, let's do it together, Fixing.
It's tons of.
Yeah, fuck that. I was only kidding, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
Finn, I think that what's more impressive than your complete set is actually all the variants that you're going for. The dedication to find those variants is in particular.
Those are fun. I will tell you, I on my channel there was one that I released kind of like recently. Hold on, let me. So there's one I released kind of like recently. Let me get the glare out of the way. So this is God of War, the black label. You could see right here, there's the Dolby call out. Other one does not have it. If I can get the glare out of the way. So one had a audio enhancement, second release that nobody ever talks about. Everything else is the same. UPC is the same. The disc, if you swap the disc inside the cases, you would not know or be able to tell which one had the audio upgrade. So little things like that I consider variants, and I think I found that accidentally. Something like that with an audio enhancement from Dolby, you need at least like a 5.1 surround sound system to even benefit from that. It's so minimalistic. It's just kind of one of those things that I found after variant hunting or just trying to find something else on my needs list. So
when did you decide to go for the variants?
Well, I needed something to do after I finished the main PS2 library. I figured
that's exactly what happened.
I mean, I was like, do I go for PS3? Do I go for PS4? Do I just stop?
I stayed collecting variants for about 6 months, and I'm like, nah, I'm going to other systems. This is getting boring.
I wanted to go hard for everything PS2 wise. Like, let me have one of everything. I can showcase it to collectors, people that want to collect in the future. I can, try to educate them. And I didn't get where I was by just doing all the research myself. I mean, I've had people that were collecting since day one. And I started collecting pretty late, 2018. There was a lot that I've had information on from friends that I would not have even known of today without their help. There's just no information on it. Another one, I guess, for example, this one that I posted about the exclusive.
The EB Games exclusive.
Yeah.
Is that Canadian cover, that one?
I don't believe so.
Did we have EB Games here in the US?
We did, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They were EB Games was bought out by GameStop back in 2000. Oh, I just researched that. I think it was like 2005. So what's odd about this is this was a gift to the EB Games managers. So each of the EB Games stores would have received one copy, and I don't even think they were giving it directly to the store. I think it was like a conference meeting. And as you can see, there's no UPC. It's just blank.
That's cool, man.
But if you open this up, the manual is a normal manual for the game. And so is the disc. So it does say preview copy in the logo of EB Games, but it's the full release. This was definitely like an early print run for the game. And it was kind of like one of those that I was like, I saw this on eBay and I kind of had to immediately buy it because that's one of those that would instantly sell. And I've been looking for it for 4 or 5 years. I saw a, what was it, like a Reddit post about it, and then my friend said it does exist. He didn't have it. I thought he was pulling my leg. I always thought that was like kind of a fan-made cover art. It's like, no, do my research. I have another buddy of mine that I talked to. He worked at EB Games, and then another buddy of mine that works at a GameStop as a manager. And he remembers getting gifted one of those.
Was the
Oh, that's awesome.
was the seller aware on the eBay seller? Did he know what he had, or he's just whatever? It's a Turok game.
I paid $500 for it.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it was.
He knew what he had. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get
Well,
the
I mean,
fuck out.
even in the listing, he said, I've not seen one of these for 10 years. I feel like this is a fair price. I was able to talk him down to 300. Going back and forth pretty quickly. So I must have saw it early because I didn't see anyone favorite it or anything. You know how eBay works with watchers. I feel like I got lucky with it. It's one of those that I just kind of have, especially if I'm going for variants.
If there's something I wanted to ask you about with PS2 collecting, I'm sure you're aware that a lot of PS2 games have reprints where the cover might be exactly the same, but the game's been reprinted. Do you class that as a variant?
Do you mean like on the software level?
No, I'm just talking like games that were printed, say 2004, being reprinted recently, because that's been happening.
Oh, didn't Fatal Frame get a huge reprint? I believe.
Yeah, there's been a ton of recent RPGs, horror games.
I mean,
what is the story? Can you tell the difference between a OG Fatal Frame and a recently reprinted Fatal Frame? Is there any way to tell the difference?
I would assume the case would be different. It would probably be one of the later generation cases.
Yeah,
I made a video about that as well, where there's 3 main cases. At least for my region. I don't know if PAL cases are probably different as well, but the very first, what was there, 29 PlayStation 2 games in the North American region at launch. Those did not have any any PlayStation logos, did not have the memory card holder. And then it was like first quarter of 2001, they incorporated the memory card holder, which is just everyone knows and loves the memory card holder cases.
Yeah. The best case ever.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. That ended, I think, like third quarter. When I say quarter, like, of
the PS2 life.
Yeah.
Lifespan.
So, third quarter of like 2006, about 3 quarters through that year, they transitioned to the third case, which just has the PlayStation 2 logo or the PlayStation logo in it. No memory card holder, so that basically got replaced with just a logo. Cases are thinner. The cover arts are starting to get printed on thinner paper. You can definitely feel the difference. I'm doing actually a special project that I haven't really told anyone about.
Are you going to tell us about it?
I am, yeah. So
exclusive.
It's not exclusive anymore since I'm telling you, but I'm scanning every one of my PlayStation 2 games, scanning the cover arts, and going to make an archive available to the public for at least the main library. Obviously, like games for that, like EB Games exclusive cover art, I'm not going to provide scans publicly for it because people are just going to print their own and sell it as actuals.
And unfortunately, that's the case. So
things like that I'm already very cautious about. But the main library, I feel like it's fair. I'm not gonna share the variant cover arts, obviously, because some of those, like this one, for example.
Oh, what do we got here?
So this is Goosebumps Horrorland with the exclusive novel.
Joe, can we get a full screen on him real quick? Or Pigsy, can you do that? There we go.
It's kind of hard with my glare. So let me see.
Goosebumps is a really, really popular.
So this includes a free novel inside. It's a very thick novel. It's almost as thick as the PlayStation 2 game case itself. This was a Scholastic Bowl exclusive. So over here it says Scholastic.
So you bought it at the book fair at school?
Basically, yeah, this was only sold in a school district.
Oh, that's cool.
That was the only retailer, from at least what my research was telling me. There might have been like another third-party retailer later on. This is stupid pricey. Like I'm talking maybe $1,000.
I'm imagining because Goosebump collectors are crazy. Like I know of a Goosebump collector who's got game rooms like us full of Goosebump memorabilia.
That one took
they
me.
are absolutely insane.
That one took me 4 or 5 years of actively looking for, and I'll be honest, I never found one online. I bought that from one of my collector's buddy that was really hurting for money, and I paid like $600 for it. So
Sometimes you got to bite the bullets. Hey, Ben, you were saying before that you have a couple of collectors that you share information with. Have you guys got a database or anything that you guys share with the PS2 list or anything like that?
So we have like a just kind of like a Facebook Messenger group. Some of the heavier collectors that I at least work with for like North America or USA and Canada, we kind of just collaborate. We kind of chit chat about variants and stuff right now. One of my buddies that is in the group with me is going for a full PS4 set, which might be something that would interest possibly you. I don't know, Figs, are you going for a full set for PS4, or was that like Joe or something?
I only have 1,200 games. I'm definitely not going for a full set, which sounds funny, but I won't be.
So what's actually great about, I'd like to brag that PS2 has the largest library out of any console. Well, PS4 has already surpassed that by quite
a long time.
Substantially.
PS4 is over 3,000 games.
Yeah, PS4 is absolutely nuts. If you want to be a full PS4 set collector, there's a few of them I could name, which I'm not going to on live, that is going to be one of those holy grail things. And I'm not talking about like limited rare, limited run. There's a few out there that are just crazy. I'm looking out for one of them for my buddy of mine that he has helped me so much with learning about variants in the PS2, and it's just kind of crazy. So I'm I want to help him with that set. If I ever find it, obviously. But
aren't the sets getting bigger as they go on? I mean, PS2 is what, 1850? Am I correct?
Without variants, at least NTSC, so our region is 1,818. If you exclude those 4 titles that were only made in greatest hits,
and PS3,
you're looking around 1,150. So.
If you're including variants that I know of, at least so far, there's probably over 2,500 titles for PS2. Some of those,
I'm sure there would be a lot more.
There's probably 2,800 or something. I'm still finding variants every once in a while. I'm doing really well because I'm only finding maybe one every week, maybe every week or two. I document it.
50 a year.
Yeah. So
the PS2. The PS2. It was again the DVD in the PS2. You forget about it. Getting that and got that fact alone got this thing into more people's houses than anything else.
Absolutely.
That was the cheapest DVD player. That was the
cheapest DVD.
Yeah.
It didn't suck as a DVD player either. And then of course, they got the kids playing games and PS2. Damn it.
Yeah, what's beautiful about a PS2 is a lot of people forget about it. It's got an optical out. If you want a cheap sound system, get yourself a sound bar with a subwoofer. Plug it right into optical out. Oh, it's a killer sound system. That's what I have in my lower CRT right now. I don't have a fancy 5.1 or 7.1, 7.2 sound system. Still works. And it kicks ass. It really does.
When I first got my PS2, I had a fucking fancy receiver and I plugged that thing in with the optical cable, perfect Dolby Digital 5.1 surround sound. And it was in the early days, not the early days. It was after Dolby surround, and then it came Dolby Digital surround. And my God, that thing would my DVDs would sing. I'd fucking had giant speakers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fucking subwoofer, fucking just playing a video game with a 5.1 digital soundtrack on it. Oh, forget about it. You're right. People do. It is ignored. It's great DVD player, and God damn it, you're making me want to collect PS2 games again, Finn. And no, I'm not going to. Well, actually, I'm going to collect this many. Just to finish.
And I've seen a couple of people ask in chat, are you collecting any PAL or Japanese exclusive PS2 games?
I kind of decided a little bit early on that I was going to just stick with the NTSC region, and I've done really, really well with that. I am probably never going to go for PAL or Japanese exclusives at this point. there's still so much that I need to uncover. And I think my main focus as a PS2 collector is to really focus on my region. And it's been beneficial because I can become, very detailed. Just focusing on one region, because now if I'm branching out, now I'm losing on those little detail things that can easily be overlooked.
You're splitting your attention. USA, USA, USA. Guys, Figsy, take me out. I'll be right back.
No worries. Hey, Will, we got an interesting comment here. I believe Wyle's got a full PS2 PAL set, and also said, I've scanned all the covers of my PAL games. Maybe we can trade covers. My book cover project is expanding into US games at the moment, but it's going very slow because US games are very expensive right now.
So I think I'm at like 220, 240 scanned cover arts for the PS2 library. If there's 1,800 plus, I'm trying to do 20 a day during my work week, so 100 a week. It's going to take me a little bit of time, at least more than half a year, to finish that project. But if you want to send me a message or something, I'd be happy to share covers with you, even before I finish the project. But my goal as an archivist, the PlayStation 2 at this point for the NTSC region, is to at least make some of this information and some of the work I've been trying to give back to the community a little bit, make this publicly available. So absolutely, if you'd like it, shoot me a message.
So on that, Finn, you've got your own Facebook group?
I do, yes.
What's the name of the group, sorry?
That one is PlayStation Collectors and Pickups.
I have linked the group below, guys, so be sure to join Finn's group. On top of that, you're also on YouTube, Finn?
I am, yeah. I recently started my YouTube channel, making videos every day about a month and a half ago. I might be approaching 2 months now. Doing rather well. I'm getting there. Most of my videos are very short, but they're trying to be more focused towards either video game fans or video game collectors. I try to kind of uncover some of those variants. I've been making videos on variants every day. Those are posted at 10 a.m. daily. Try to be as detailed as I can. Each game usually takes 2 to 3 minutes to go over, so it's not like a long video, something you can click on really quick. I mean, just kind of cool to get into those short video details. Doesn't need to be a long one. So
I actually do watch these videos and I really enjoy them. They're not games that I'll collect, being a PAL collector, but I love seeing
those differences. Like if it's a movie ticket, especially if it's got a call out on it. I love showcasing those. It's really easy to showcase. If it's something that like a game that might have included a trading card, like for example, Teen Titans, that went on our PS2 collection. It included a trading card. I don't know if all of them had it, but it doesn't have a call out for it.
What's up, Steve?
So it's kind of it's a basket of eggs. You're getting scrambled. Does this have it? Does it not? Should all of them have it? I don't know. I will never know. Some of them have it. So,
and I really love your boxed PS2 collection. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Talking of variants, that's when I see photos of that, I think that looks absolutely fantastic.
I try to be as detailed as I can. There's like for example, if I'm looking for a variant on one game, I might spend 4 hours on eBay just scrolling through photos and listings of that same one, looking for the most minimum differences. Whether it's a lot of games, it's like the back of the cover arts and whatnot for any games. Usually the fine print at the bottom, it'll actually say where it was the cover art was printed.
Yep.
And what was it? I think one of the Mega Man games has 4 or 5, I believe, different addresses. Like everything else is exactly the same, right? It's just literally the fine print. Like one might have been from like San Diego, California. One might have been from one town over, still in California, just different city name.
This recently happened with Capcom. A bunch of their PS3 games they moved like a couple of blocks or a couple of suburbs, and the back cover are variants because they're address variants.
Yeah, they definitely are.
And these games are being documented now because it's a piece of history.
It is. It's kind of unique. When you really get into the details of things, it's like, wow, there's how many people have overlooked that? every one of you, unless you're really looking for it. It's one of those that I like to uncover little secrets in life, and that is something that is becoming burned into me passion wise. And I really love these are like little Easter eggs for me, just finding these things. Like
I think when you're talking about like barcode variants, it puts things like sticker variants to shame.
yeah, oh, absolutely. Sticker variants is that's another one that I don't even know if I want to like get into, just because it's like, well, you know. So this one is a limited edition cover art for Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I'm not sure why this one was made. It's not a reversible cover, but it is definitely an alternate cover. It's not worth too much. You can pick this up for 25, 30 bucks. But everything else on it is identical. It's like one of those. It's like, oh, this is a variant. So just kind of scroll through and find some things. It's definitely fun. I mean, I guess I could go through. Do we have time? I could start showcasing just some oddball stuff that I have on my desk.
Before you do that, Finn, we'll actually get into one of our segments quickly.
Absolutely.
So, guys, we have a few different segments on this show, and one of those segments is a quiz. So it's time to play Big D's quiz.
Play it. There we go.
Now, guys, on this quiz, we have a bunch of questions that we like to do. Once again, Pavel has done the questions for us, and he's done a bit of research on you, Finn, and he's incorporated some PS2 questions in this one today. So, Finn, being our guest today, would you like to go first?
I'll go first, yeah.
All right, sweet. Let's get into it, guys. So, question number 1. This Joy-Con controller originally released in 1998 as part of a special edition package with which game? Was it Pac-Man World, Ridge Racer Type 4, V-Rally 2, or Ridge Racer 5?
That's interesting. I feel like this is a PAL exclusive controller. I feel like I've seen this with one of those. What is it? It's like a fishing game. None of the games he listed sounds familiar. I do not know this answer. So, can you repeat the games? Actually,
so the games were Pac-Man World, Ridge Racer Type 4, V-Rally 2, Ridge Racer 5.
I'm gonna go with V-Rally. I don't think I'm correct, but
Fortunately, that is incorrect. I will throw this one over to Will for the chance to get a point.
Yeah, that's got to be a racing game. So it's going to be R4 or R5. I'm going to go with Ridge Racer 5.
That was from Ridge Racer 4.
Ah, god damn it. So close.
See, that is why I've never seen it.
Pal. Get it away.
Super awesome box, that one. I love it.
Oh.
So moving on to question 2. This one's for you, Will.
All right, let's go.
Which of these PS2 games has 11 endings? Was it Shadow the Hedgehog, Manhunt 2, Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex, or Silent Hill 4 The Room?
You know, I've had all these games in my collection, and I'm ashamed to say I've never played any one of them. I'm gonna go. You know, Silent Hill. No, I'm gonna go with Manhunt 2.
Manhunt 2 is incorrect. I'm going to hand this one over to Finn for the chance to get a point. Which of these games has 11 endings?
I'm gonna go with Shadow the Hedgehog.
What?
That is correct.
What?
So,
Oh my god!
I will admit that was a guess. I did not know that. I figured it definitely wouldn't have been Silent Hill. Their stuff seems to be pretty written in stone, but
I think it was an educated guess. If a game like Silent Hill,
I was like kind of 50-50 with Crash and Sonic the Hedgehog. I was like, okay, well, it's got to be one of those.
All right, guys, moving on to the next round. Finn, this is your question. I'm going to show you an alternative cover created by the Neutral Network for this PS3 and Xbox 360 game. You have to tell me the title.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
Ghost Rider?
I knew. Yeah, it's gotta be good.
Incorrect.
Oh, it's
I'll
not
hand this
Ghost
one over
Rider.
to Will for the chance to get a point.
So this is, jeez, okay. It's
I
not,
don't know what else
Ghost
there is.
Rider was my first, but yeah, but none of those look like
Yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Not a
This-
bad choice.
This is
I
the
don't even
cover.
think there's a Ghost Rider on PS3. Now that I'm thinking of it.
Can you repeat the question for me one more time, Figs?
So this is an alternative cover created
Uh-huh.
by Neutral Networks for this PS3 and Xbox 360 title.
Oh. No, there's a motorcycle guy in Twisted Metal, but he's got a sidecar. Jesus, I have no clue. I'm gonna go with Twisted Metal Black. I mean, I got nothing. I don't know so Twisted Metal Black.
Fortunately, that was
Yes.
incorrect. The answer we were looking for was Ride to Hell Retribution.
Oh my god, that game sucks balls.
I have never seen that game.
You're lucky.
Renowned as one of the worst games ever made.
What's funny is like my knowledge really is like in PS2. It's like, oh, PS3 question.
Yeah,
Good
keep them
luck,
coming.
Finn.
Keep
Good
them coming.
luck.
Figs. I gotta...
All right, well, this one's for you. I'm going to show you an alternative cover again for a PS3 or an Xbox 360 game. You have to tell me the title.
Lost Planet.
Correct.
Really
good. No hesitation. I know my shit.
Yes, that was good. All right, moving on to the
Nice.
next round. Finn, this one's for you. What is the name? I want to hear the game of this limited edition console. So, what
Okay.
game is this limited edition console from?
Oh boy.
I think I know.
Dragon Ball Z. Would be
Incorrect.
my,
I will hand this one
I
over
think,
to
only
Will.
guess.
Is that a Yakuza console?
That's correct.
Bing, 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 bing.
That is Yakuza 5.
Oh wow.
I've never seen that one.
I've never seen that either. Is that a PAL exclusive?
That's
oh, it is. Oh, it's
Japanese
Japanese. That's why.
Yeah,
Okay.
most
That's
Yakuza
beautiful.
consoles are Japanese, and they're all.
My
American.
wife loves Yakuza. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. Oh, I'm fancy. That's at least how I've always heard it. So
I drink my drink like this and shit.
All right. Well, what does this Peggy rating symbol mean?
Arachnophobia? I have fucking no clue. Hold on.
he's butchering us with PAL.
I know. That's how this fucking this Pavel fucks me every week. What is it? So that's an age rating?
Like it's on the front cover of games to warn you of a certain thing.
What bull?
What? I don't know.
Never seen that.
Because I'm thinking like themes like alcohol, fucking murder, suggestive themes. Let's go with that. Suggestive themes.
Not what we were looking for. I will hand this one over to Finn.
I don't know if that's like their way of explaining like warning for flashing lights or arachnophobia. I'd be kind of like what Will said.
Again, that wasn't
That's
what
my
we were looking
answer.
for.
Flashing lights warning.
The answer was fear. So this is the power warning for fear.
Wow.
You guys have to warn people about fear? Fucking soft ass Peggy motherfuckers.
I mean, they just kind of like on the back of ours, they just tell you, like in the little detail box.
Yeah, it's got
like the little what you need to. Why am I
Actually
not
says
focused?
fear, yeah.
Like
I'm pretty sure
it's
Australia
like-
does the same thing. Different countries have got their
got-
different.
balls are featured in this video game.
All right, moving on to the final round. Finn, this next question's for you.
Okay.
What color is the 7+ age rating in the PAL region?
Just killing me.
So the Peggy rating, the 7+.
okay.
What color is it?
I don't even know what color it starts with for like
7. Jesus.
blue.
Well, you took my
I'm just-
answer.
Incorrect. I will hand this one over to Will.
Dude, I'm just gonna pick a color, green.
Yeah.
Green was correct.
Holy shit! Look at that. Yeah.
Oh, I should have thought about that. I've seen now that you put it on screen. I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah, so if you think logically, like black's the worst one, and you go the lighter colors for the
Okay.
lower ratings.
Good job, Will.
Well, you're taking the lead with going into your final question. I don't even know if you can lose. This is impressive.
Ooh.
All right, well, your final question. So according to pricecharting.com, this is the most expensive North American game for the PlayStation Vita as of March 2023.
So pick the most expensive PlayStation Vita games. What you're telling me? Finn, I'm gonna fuck you up. 1001 Spikes.
That was incorrect. So that 1001 Spikes is the second most expensive Vita game. I will hand this one over to Finn to potentially steal half a point.
Don't know anything for Vita. I can't even give you an answer. I really don't know any Vita games.
Pick a PS3 game.
I've never owned a Vita. I've never owned
a PS4. No, pick a PS4 game.
Oh god, let me see. Let me hope it's like a limited run or something game. I can't even. No, I'm not sure. I have no idea.
You'll actually be like, oh, when I tell you the answer, because it was the Binding.
Oh shit! We just talked about that before we get.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that before the show.
It has the same reason as 101 Spikes. They are official unreleases with developers saying that copies are coming, but as of right now, there's only a few copies on the market, and they are going for thousands of dollars by people paying FOMO prices.
Joe said as much. Joe Rad running the fucking shit. Who's running this fucking ticker across the bottom's fucking chaffing my ass because at the beginning it said Will nothing with an exclamation point. Fuck you. Who's responsible for that shit?
Well, guys, thanks so much for playing Figsy's quiz. Again, fun. Will has won. Congratulations.
Eat Will. Figsy's quiz. Oh man!
And if you wanted to show us some of those variants, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, what you got? Show us some fucking show. Let's see the good shit. Tell us what you got.
So we have.
Oh, that's shiny.
One of the most beautiful slip covers for PS2. Ultimate Spider-Man. This one it had a limited edition cover. Most of these are kind of tore up, but this kind of slides straight off. So.
Give us the lenticularness. Just tilt it left or right.
Have some signatures on the back.
There we go. Oh, now you can see.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, the whole thing is holographic, basically.
When you run your finger across it, or your fingernail across it, it goes. Zit.
No, it's a flat print hologram.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I can hopefully get it out of here. So, let me see. So, we pull the game case out. It is also hologram.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's nice.
So,
yeah, damn.
Tim, you got the spine too. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, imagine finding that on the shelves. You'd be like, "What is this?"
Most of them that are on eBay are actually missing the slipcover. This comes with a
comic book.
A little comic book, yeah. If I can figure out my orientation. So that's, I think that's the manual in the disc. That, here's the comic book for it.
Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man. I got a friend. He fucking collects. He won't bring anything into his collection unless it's complete. Mm-hmm. And anytime he's like, "Hey, look what I got." I was like, "Well, did you get the comic book?" He's like, "What?"
Yeah,
just to freak him out. Jamie Parks, wherever you're, I hope you're listening. That one's got a comic book.
Another one. I'm missing the comic book for. There's a variant for Fantastic Four. It's got the call out for the comic book. I'm missing that one. It's not going to be a terrible one to find. This one was.
Ooh, oh, that's cool.
Tato, is it Tato or Tate? Yeah,
I
it's
would say
Tato
Tato.
or Taito.
It could be Taito, I guess. Depends on your pronunciation for it.
I love the little band that's wrapped around it.
So
cool.
that's what's unique about this. So my copy is sealed, and this has a mailing envelope sealed to the back of it as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
So this was sold exclusively from one retailer that I was able to find.
Hallmark?
Yeah, so it was sold specifically at the Hallmark, and they definitely sealed it with their own unique banner, probably like a holiday gift thing, maybe for Christmas. So you basically open it up in store, and you got your mailing envelope with it.
If I was a grandma looking for a gift for my 8-year-old kid, I'd be fucking dripping wet if I saw that shit in the store.
So that's one of my unique ones. I actually have 4 different games that has that exact ready to go gift banner. I made a video on that. It's one of my more obscure videos and whatnot. I don't know if there's more of them. I'm sure there's probably more than just 4 games that were wrapped like this and sold. They're just not available. It's one of those that I've waited and waited to find. I found 4 of them. I've not found another one since. It's been over a year now.
Well, if you don't even know the games to look out for,
that's what's really troubling too. It's like I'm just gonna I don't even know. Just search for ready to go gift.
Search you need to speak to a Hallmark employee who was wrapping them 20 years ago.
Well, it's got to be a sealed copy as well, so you have to check that box new. It's like how many of these were opened? Why would this just sit on your shelf unopened? Yeah,
like the intention of buying it wouldn't be to keep it sealed; it would be to use it as the gift.
Yeah, exactly. They all got open, so
it's like that Italian set of, or I don't know if it was Italian or French, but of PS3 games that came out of specific grocery stores or department stores.
I've got some that were similar to that, but there's a lot of power games that like grocery stores will get copies of, and then they'll unofficially make versions of. I'll show you some of them.
So this one's kind of a bad example, but one of these is a flat non-hologram, and then the other one is. It's really hard to see on camera, but you can definitely see this one has more of a hologram shine to it.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, it's right there. The other one, flat print. So 2 different print releases. Even the spine is my super bright light is the bane of my existence right now.
Dude, why is the sticker still on that one? Is it sealed?
No, I just haven't had time to swap the case out. I mean, when you have 3,000 games, I ran out of filler. Games I bought for $1 to replace all the cases on it. That happens. Another one, same thing. This one, I think you can see. Yeah, you can see that one a little bit better.
Yeah, you can see on the left. Well,
flat variant, non-holographic, and then the other one is holographic. Cool stuff like that. I consider a variant. These are god awful to try to find on like an eBay listing. It's a flat photo. It's like, is it hologram? Is it not? You kind of have to ask the seller, hey, can you put this under a bright light if you don't mind, and wiggle it around? Let me know if it's hologram or not.
There's a few PS3 variants like that, and I specifically didn't buy them on eBay because I can't tell, so I'm going to buy these in the shops.
Yeah,
and the worst part was owning one. I'm like, do I own the non or do I own the holographic?
It's tricky, especially if you're in a room with low light. You could not tell the difference. It just doesn't have that shine. So
one of my favorite holo cover, well, I guess you call it shiny cover, is the Jimmy Neutron. No, it was Chicken Little. Chicken Little has a fucking beautiful cover.
I can grab that if you want.
Are there are they all lenticular, or is there a variant?
They are all hologram for I think it's Ace in Action. Now,
yes,
Canada got a slipcover exclusive for that. So the French versions were the only ones that came with a slipcover. Do you want me to showcase that?
Yeah, go grab it. I just want to see it because I want to see the shit I let go.
My Finn's doing that. I'll show you one of those.
Let me see that grocery store.
No, this isn't. Sony didn't make this. This is made by the supermarket.
Technically
real, I don't know. It comes with 3 games inside. There's 2 of them. I think they're really cool, but they're not official Sony products.
So I was
They're
right.
just made by an Italian supermarket franchise, and they decided to sell them like that.
So when you get your Roma tomatoes, you can fucking get 3 games to go. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I've been collecting triple packs as well, even from third-party retailers. I just think they're kind of cool how they're bundled together. So
Yeah, well, like they're not real releases, but then if like GameStop did it or Walmart, people would call them real releases. So
fucking shitty, what's a licensed game? Shitty, crappy licensed title, but the fucking cover on that is fucking gorgeous, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh god damn.
So both of them are hologram, but like I said, that the Canada release did include a slipcover. That was a bonus for Canada.
My PS2 boner is full mast.
I don't know if I can show this. The serial number on the lower spine. There we go.
Is it different?
Yeah. One's got an F, which means French. So the slipcover one has an F after the serial number. That means French language is included. Also, if we look at both of the backs, you could see there's a second line going across it as well, explaining all of the functions in French.
Ah, yep, makes sense.
That's the easy way to tell if it's a French copy or not. I mean, look at the expanded UPC. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the PS3 games have either dual language manual or 2 manuals. Does that come with 1, 2, duo?
So the French copy or the Canadian exclusive slipcover should have 2 manuals individually. So they should have a English manual and a French manual. That's another way to tell if it came out of Canada.
Cool.
We would have only got an English manual.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I gotta pee really bad. I opened up the.
Once Will returns, we'll move on to some homework that we set during the week. And I think one of the more exciting homework projects. I was quite exciting doing this one. I'm sure you would have felt the same.
Oh yeah, it's it's fun. I actually have a good list. I was trying to find certain ones. I was like, will this work? Is this good for what we're trying to do? I'm not trying to give away, too much yet.
I'll let you guys know the topic now.
Okay.
So we're going to be building a PS2 collection of 10 games using price charting prices, and we have a budget of $200.
So with me being a variant collector, I felt like it was a great opportunity to kind of showcase greatest hits versus black label pricing. Because that is a huge market difference, especially so if you're one of those people that are walking into a game store just to buy a game, you don't care if it's greatest hits or black label. Some games, there's a dramatic price difference because of that. I know a lot of collectors don't like the greatest hits or platinum for PS2 because it breaks up the uniformity of the collection. Now, I'm not exactly OCD, so it never really bothered me. But now that I have the full PS2, black label collection, let me go for variants. Well, all greatest hits are technically a variant, and then I'm even getting as deep into variants of greatest hits. So it's a variant of a variant, which might even have a sub variant, and it gets pretty ridiculous. Actually, while we're waiting for Will, do you mind if I go grab a greatest hits variant?
Yeah, go for
it. Of a variant, it's kind of funny, right?
As AJ's saying in regards to Fatal Frame, the font on the spine's actually different. That's interesting. So it's good to be able to distinguish the original copy to the reprint, where I know there are a few titles that you can't do that. Then we've had a response to Fatal Frame. AJ was saying that the font size is actually different on the reprint.
Okay.
I was actually one for the list.
It would be, yeah, if I have photo evidence, and I'll notate that and definitely take a look at that later. I don't know if I want to consider a late print run like that to be. It's kind of like when you're a variant collector, you're picking and choosing like what is a variant. Am I going to consider a third party sticker on the front of the cover, not even the cover art, but the actual case? Like, is that a variant from another retailer. It's like I don't
100%.
consider those if it's, you know, obviously within the print of the cover art, absolutely. If it's like a manufacturer's branding, like if it's got a Capcom sticker or something on the case, I might consider it if it's a Capcom game. But like things like that, it's kind of not many people are going for variants, especially in the format and such that I am. I'm kind of one of those more extreme examples, but stickers. Let me get up again and actually grab you some good examples of stickers. So.
I'll ask that, AJ, when Finn gets back. I've got some questions for him as well. Just on that, Finn, what you were saying, like it is interesting on what you go for because you're hardcore, but then even you've got your limits. But there's like
right
in terms of the PS2 archive, like it's important to keep the history and actually archive that. There potentially will be someone down the line that, you know, will want, even if it's a reprint that's exactly the same. I want, you know, BLSU 1 to the last one that was made. Are these the 4 greatest hits games that didn't get releases?
They didn't get Black Label releases because for whatever reason, I guess they probably made a contract agreement with Sony or whoever did the printing for these. They very likely decided to say, hey, here's the funds. We're going to make 600,000 plus copies right here, right now, or 1 million copies. Can we just skip the Black Label template and go directly to greatest hits? I'm guessing that was probably some kind of discussion that happened, and that's how those became the 4 exclusive. There might be one other one that could be up for debate, but then again, it's like it did get a Black Label release. It's just a little different for the cover art. Everything else is identical, so it's one of those. I consider those to be the 4. Sure, we can kind of discuss there might be a 5th.
And I got a point on those 4 games. They look like 2006 releases, if I'm correct.
They're all, I think, within the ballpark of the same year, 2006.
Is it possible that they got released on the 360 first and then released 500,000 copies to be then labeled a greatest hits title? Because I'm aware that those titles were all reprinted on the PS3.
It could have been something like that. I don't have too much information on it other than just what I've notated over the years and what I've been able to see. So I guess I'll showcase.
So we got I can tell
Call of Duty 3, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Midnight Club 3, and what's the 4th one? Is that
Virtual Fighter Evolution?
Okay.
So Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition had a Black Label, but this is Dub Edition Remix. If that makes sense. There was a
normal Marvel Alliance 1.
Yeah, but it's special edition. So both the games on the left included bonus disc. The 2 base games did not get that. I would consider it enough bonus content, and I think there's a few extra levels in both of those as well to be considered an exclusive. Plus, I mean, if you're counting the name on the front of the cover art, it has special edition in the title. I count that as a different game, and also the serial number and the UPCs are different.
So, on that same subject of greatest hits with extra shit, the most obvious and the most notorious would be Silent Hill. What the fuck number is
Silent Hill 2?
Thank you.
Director's cut.
It's
called director's cut for the greatest hits version, technically.
What other games? What games can you name off the top of your head that the greatest hits versions had extra shit that the Black Label did not?
Namco's 50th anniversary museum. Namco's museum. I think they had a 50th anniversary. That had a bunch of more bonus levels, and I think some were removed, kind of like transitioned with different levels in it. That was one that is actually up for debate for those 4 exclusive greatest hits titles. I don't really consider that one since it did get a Black Label. It's just some of the levels are a little different. But then again, it's like we're kind of picking and choosing at that point since it is a variant, right? That's
actually interesting.
It's kind of up for opinion. Yeah.
so many PS3 greatest hits games have additional content because the game has updates and stuff.
Or
where
DLC.
like that's not even
I
considered.
do know. I mean, probably majority of them did. I just haven't got that depth. Like, I don't really deal with the software level of games. I haven't, put them into like a CD burner just to compare the file size or if there's any kind of differences you could quickly analyze. I'm more of a collector at this point of like differences in the art. Manuals, discs, serial numbers, UPCs, cover arts, stuff like that. I've not really, and I actually haven't at all compared to anything like on the software level, because
that's a major difference with the PS3. A lot of the greatest hits titles, they have all the DLC on them, for instance, or
right.
It's just a complete. It's everything that they've done for the game. But because I know the update PS in bugs worked out, etc.
I do know what is it? Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, had greatest hits release. I think patched like the coffee hack or something. If you guys just Google Grand Theft Auto San Andreas coffee hack fix for the greatest hits, it'd probably pull right up. It was kind of a popular thing at the time.
Yeah, I guess the chick brings over coffee and he has violent sex with her or something.
I believe that the first print copy, they then reprinted that. So there's a black label copy that has that content removed as well.
I mean, that's probably. I wouldn't know.
What is it? I'm sure I knew at one point, but now I forgot because I'm forgetful dickhead. What going back to the Silent Hill 2, what's the difference between Black Label 2 and Red Label 2?
As far as the actual differences, I'm not too familiar with. I've heard there might be, I think there's like a bonus trailer in one of the menus or something, and it might even be after you beat the game it's available. There might be extra levels, costumes or something. I do know from what I've been able to gather, at least comparing majority of like the Black Label releases compared to the greatest hits, the secondary releases, better like encoding optimization. So you might have better frame rate in certain cutscenes. You might have graphical enhancements during rougher or high demanding cutscenes. Audio enhancements, like I showed you guys for the God of War, the Dolby audio enhancements. Those might have been just incorporated in the background and just not even discussed or shown on the covers. Bug fixes, patches, a whole bunch of benefits. And then on top of that, it's like people hate greatest hits just because of that like minor uniformity thing. It's like, if you go into any store and start pulling greatest hits off the wall, it's going to be a pretty good title, I guarantee, because it's sold.
Yeah.
It's going to be a popular title. So if you want a good library, 294 greatest hits titles, not including the variants that I'm going to discuss.
Crazy.
It's like almost 300 titles received greatest hits out of 1,818. Like, it is a huge difference, but it's like you are going to get a really good title.
You're in the middle of that shit right now. You're going for that's your current quest, the full PS2.
I decided since I'm slowing down so much on Black Label variants, let me go for greatest hits. I have over, I think, probably 230, 240 greatest hits titles. You could see them in my cabinet in the back. I'm missing, I think as of what I posted one, I think today or yesterday, I think I'm missing like 54. And a lot of them
Are there many greatest hits games that are more expensive than the counterpart Black Label title?
Oh, absolutely. You'd be actually surprised. What is it? WWE Here Comes the Pain. I'm struggling to pull the trigger on that one because it's like almost $20, $30 more than the Black Label.
Yep.
What was one I just...
I'm aware of some PS1 greatest hits titles that are very expensive.
Are there?
Full set collectors are like, that's the grail of PS1 collecting.
I mean, because the greatest hits would probably have fewer copies than the original release. I mean, it just makes sense.
Like another one I had trouble with was Valkyrie Profile. If I can get it to focus. So Valkyrie Profile 2, right, for the PS2. Greatest hits. This game runs $50, $60 all day long for the Black Label. I struggled to find that. I paid $150 for it, 3 times the Black Label value. And that's I'm kind of at that point in the greatest hits set where it's like either not available, like Shrek the Third. that one, I know it exists. I've seen photos of it. I'm just waiting for it to get posted. I'm trying to snag it as quick as I can. I know other people now, since I'm, I've described basically or posted my list of what I need. I'm noticing people are picking up copies of what I need. I'm seeing those start to sell now. It's like
that's
maybe I
the
shouldn't.
downside of posting a list.
That's okay.
And
Though.
then go, hey, I've got your list for sale for more than eBay prices.
Yeah, and then another thing, it's like, do I want to pay a lot of these at this point, especially like this one, for example? It's like I don't want to pull the trigger on a game that's going to cost 3 times as much for a greatest hits copy. I'm just going to wait on it. So a lot of them I'm waiting on, and it is just a budgeting thing right now for me. It's like, well, I'm going to be patient, wait for one to get listed for just a relative, decent price. And then all the other ones, just waiting on actually availability.
Yeah,
price isn't even a factor. It's just they're not available.
It's a double-edged sword, because Finn, I would consider you at the precipice of PS2 collecting. I mean, I hats off to you. You're the man when it comes to this shit. And when you or someone of note brings attention to something, fucking all of a sudden everyone's fucking radar goes ping, 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 and then what you're after is fucking all of a sudden unavailable or it's more expensive. So it's like, you want to keep it under your hat,
until I get a copy,
yeah, and then you said it right before we were playing the show. Play the show. You just gotta play it close to the vest, and then the minute you get it, fuckers, look at this. Look what I got. You don't know about this shit. Let me tell you about this shit. This shit is the shit, fucker.
I don't know if I sound like that, but maybe I'm portrayed that way.
Yeah, well,
hey, gentlemen, let's move on to our homework. It's been a really exciting question this week.
Yes.
So the question asked was, we have to build a PlayStation 2 collection of 10 games using price charting prices, and we have a $200 budget.
10 games, $200 price, $200 budget, price charting.
So we'll go through the games fairly quickly so we're not sitting here for half an hour. Finn, being our guest, would you like to show us your budget and a little bit of method behind the madness?
Yeah, I will. So here is actually a really fun game. I wasn't really into any kind of like motorsports game as a kid, but I played this growing up. I was actually relatively poor, so I actually had to resort to demos. Demo disc that had 20, 30 games on it. Oh my God, those were the thing back then. Played this on, I don't know if this was like a Midway Arcade Treasures that had this demo in it. It might have been just a normal PS2, like jam-packed demo disc. This game is fun as hell. If you like biking or any kind of motorsports game, this is one of the most fast-paced like biking games you will ever play. I mean, you're going 50, 60, maybe 70 miles per hour down a never-ending hill that's like 10 miles long. Downhill Domination is a really fun biking game. So that's my first one. Because I streamed this recently, and it's my wife's favorite game, Final Fantasy X. Early on, I didn't think this game was for me, and then later on, after I played it, it's a wonderful game. I gave it like a 9.5 out of 10. It's really fun. It's challenging as well.
Is it the one with the obnoxious guy going?
Yeah, a little bit. So, greatest hits title, because the black label is $15, $20 more. God of War. So here is an example of if you want a game and you want to budget it a little more, instead of getting the black label of God of War, you can save $15, $20. You pick this up for about $15. God of War black label now is almost $30, $35. Big difference. God of War, obviously, if anyone who's played PS2, that is one of the crown jewels of the console. My wife likes Kingdom Hearts. I do too. It's kind of a pretty fun game. My favorite racing game of all time, Need for Speed Most Wanted. I can actually show you a variance of that one.
The black label?
I stacked this as well. Yeah.
The black edition?
Well, it had a greatest hits, but it also had a slip cover.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Need for Speed Most Wanted black edition. Yeah. This had bonus cars, bonus levels. Had some classic muscle cars as well. SS Camaro. So, trying to get through these a little quicker for you. kind of the variant king. Oh, I got to go back to Kingdom Hearts. Comparing the two, definitely a rarity difference. You'll see.
Shiny.
If I can get it to focus. So one of these titles are worth $10-15 and the other one's worth $300 plus.
What?
Do you see a difference?
Is it silhouetted and the other one's got detail?
No, I mean I have this one in a protective cover. That's the expensive one. So if you look at the bottom,
looks darker, but I don't know if that's the light.
Look at the manufacturer. You have Squaresoft and Square Enix.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that on FF10.
Yeah, this was one of those games during their kind of transitional phase where I think was it Enix bought Soft. They decided to do another print, and there's not many copies of that. So the Enix copy is extremely expensive. If you wanted a cheap copy that says Square Enix Greatest Hits, every copy on the Greatest Hits received a Square Enix one. I unfortunately don't have the Square Enix copy for Final Fantasy X. I'm still looking for that.
Really?
I've not had luck. I have been looking for probably 6 months, twice, 2-3 times a day. Not one has been listed since. All right. On to the next one. We have a big Spyro fan. I played Spyro quite a bit as a kid, mostly on PS1. Spyro Year of the Dragon was my all-time favorite. For PS2, it'd probably have to be Enter the Dragonfly. This one also did receive a exclusive soundtrack variant. So
there it is.
Free soundtrack inside. The call out is on the front of the cover art. It's not a sticker. The soundtrack looks kind of like a PS1 game.
Nice. Let's go.
Stop that. We're in a rush.
You gotta love
it. Looks like a CD, which is cool.
It looks like a CD or a PS1 game, correct? So, alrighty, on to the next one. We have kind of a more expensive game. The most expensive one I was able to budget into
$49.85, if I'm correct.
Let me.
Is it in your stack too?
Maybe.
Yep, $49.85. That's for sure. So,
that was half. A quarter.
That's a quarter of my whole budget. Yep. So, if I show you guys something that should not exist, I have 2 copies because one is a variant. Well,
what's the difference? Fucking so many variants.
I got the free Simpsons trading card.
Free trading card inside. I will open up my copy and show you guys what the trading cards look like.
Ooh.
I was fortunate enough to actually find a couple copies, and they've been selling for $250 to $300 plus.
Is there more than one trading card?
There's 2 trading cards. At least they should have 2 trading cards. So inside my this is sealed. I think my pack is sealed. Hold on. I think I have a copy. I think I have a copy listed on eBay that shows both of them. Let me see. I bet my copy is sealed. So you're going to get kind of it's going to be a transparent pack.
Looks like 4 cards there.
There's 2 cards in it. That's basically the front and back of them. If we're not in a huge rush, do you want me to go grab an open copy and show you the differences?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it, man.
All right, give me one moment.
While Finn's doing that, do you want to start with your game as well?
No, actually. let him finish this. Did you bring do you have physical copies of yours, Figs, or did you bring up a bunch of images? I have a few of the games in my stack, but I don't I have a few, but not most of them.
If it's a budget of $200, I'm owning those games.
There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's one of the 2 cards. They did sell a deck of cards, I believe, at one point. I think there's over 200 cards in the full collection. I'm way off screen.
That's almost like a meme having the collector in there.
Oh, absolutely, isn't it? So those are 2 of the cards, and that is where majority of your value is.
So it was to help promote. the trading
but
cards,
for,
I guess.
for whatever reason, finding that call out on the PS2 is so hard to find. It's not a sticker. This is print on the cover art. So it's definitely a unique one. Alrighty, carrying on.
I love your shirt, by the way, Finn. Is it a PS2 shirt?
Yeah, so this is a PlayStation 2 polo. This was
The back of it was cool, yeah.
Yeah, I got this from I didn't get this specifically, but I bought this off eBay, and the listing guy actually had the receipt for it. This was sold at a convention or an E3 booth in 2005, so an actual Sony official booth.
Fucking Finn, you are thick.
It's really comfortable too.
You are thick as fuck. Wait, what else we got?
Alrighty. And then I am a big fan of the Sims.
Sims, really?
I am. I do like the Sims. I prefer the older ones, to be honest with you.
I only ever played it on PC.
Yeah, my wife loves like 4, some of the later ones and that. I like 1 and 2. And I would prefer to
like
play it
the
on
spin-off
PS2.
titles, like Busting Out and those ones. I thought they were great.
Another one we have is Xenosaga.
Oh, 1, really? Okay.
I like 1, and
I guess
my wife
3
does
would
as well.
3 would blow the fucking budget.
I don't like 2 and 3, if I'm being honest with you. And she says the same thing. It's just kind of falls off the radar, I think. I mean, of course, it's expensive. It's later in the set, Xenosaga 3. And then I have Yakuza.
You mean Yakuza?
Sure.
How much is Yakuza in North America?
It's $28.33.
Okay, that's
According
not
to
too
price
bad.
charting. It's definitely going up in price because I probably picked this up for $10-15 a few years back. That's all 10 of mine. So.
Did you do the math? What'd you total out to?
I have little lunch money left to spare. I'm $194.53.
Oh yeah, you do.
So I can get myself, I don't know,
Yeah,
a little something to eat for lunch.
Let's do my stack. It's just it's a virtual stack. When I was done with my stack, I was like, oh man, I forgot this, I forgot that. But you know what? I'm gonna stick with my stack. So Figsy, if you would just bring them up at random, I would yes. Okay. Code Resident Evil, Code Veronica X. I went with the red label because it's fucking cheaper. It's let me see, I have it here.
Could I show you a variant for Code Veronica?
This game will cost you $11.77 according to price chart.
The cheapest Atlas game ever.
No, I have an Atlas game, and this is my Atlas game. It's not the fucking tennis game I'm sure you're going to bring up.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So the tennis game is cheaper.
I forget about that one. This
is a weird little fucking racing / RPG-ish game. I don't know. It's weird. But I love this game. It's only $15.08. It's an Atlas title. It's on PS2. It's got a lot of character. There you go. What's next for me, Figs? Now, Figs, I know for a fact Dark Cloud 1 is on your list. If it is, but Dark Cloud 2 is actually the superior game. I'm just, everybody loves it. This is a little pricier on the scale. This is a $27 game, but Dark Cloud 2, everybody says so. I say so. Yeah, it's fucking one of the fucking.
Have you played it?
Yes, I have. It's one of the great RPGs on the PS2 system. So I had I had to stick one of those in there. What's next on my list, Figsy? Tekken Tag Tournament. You cannot fuck with Tekken Tag Tournament. If you're a fighting game aficionado, this is the shit. Or if you like Tekken, this is the shit. I put more hours into this game than probably any other fighting game I've played. Right there is front and center at the top. Heihachi Mishima, he's my fucking main. Love this game. Tekken Tag. I highly recommend it. What else we got? Oh yes, I can't talk enough about this game. Tenchu Wrath of Heaven, fucking ninja goodness. Sneak up behind you, stab you in the back. Fucking delight. There you go. What else we got, Figsy? Tenchu Fatal Shadows, and this is probably the priciest game on my list. Is coming in clocking in at $33.50. It's a Tenchu game. I love Tenchu. I've had a boner for ninjas ever since I was a wee. ever since I got my first boner. So there you go. Tenchu Fatal Shadows. And you can't make a list without Grand Theft Auto on it. Vice City was my favorite. I prefer it over San Andreas. I don't know. It just kicked all the right boxes for me. I remember Miami Vice, and this is 80s perfection. So
Vice City is absolutely my favorite as well of all time.
It's a beautiful game.
Soundtrack alone kills it. Just makes it.
Just the 80s vibe feels
Absolutely.
awesome.
I think I have two more on the list. Champions of Norath. My girlfriend turned me on to this game. This is one that actually still sits in the collection. This one clocks in at, let me see, where am I? $34. And actually, this is the priciest game on the list. $34.07. Fucking dungeon crawling goodness. I haven't put too much time in this game. But I just feel if as a collector, this is one that does belong on your list. So Champions of Norath, there it is. And the last game should be, oh no, I got two more games in Metal Gear Solid 2. I want the greatest hits just for price, just to fit it into my budget. Metal Gear Solid, you can't fuck with Solid Snake. Look at him, he'll fuck you up. Metal Gear Solid 2.
Snake.
$6.98. It's a good game. It's Metal Gear. Let's go. All right, and I believe is the last game, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. First one, because the fucking second and third one, second one's like $60 and the third one's like $150. This is $25.06. Dragon Ball. I mean, that's all I gotta say. I love Dragon Ball. I prefer to be honest. If I'm there's no Dragon Ball straight up Dragon Ball. He's a little kid. That's my favorite. Dragon Ball Z is decent. After that, it kind of goes downhill. I don't know. Dragon Ball Super is pretty good, but no, Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi. Get on it. It's still cheap, only $25. So there it is. And that's my list. That's all 10, right, Figs?
Beautiful list.
Joe's the editor as well.
Huh?
Joe's the editor.
You guys took the shit out of my hand, so I'm at the mercy of fucking Joe.
Have you got any money left over, Will?
Oh, my total was $196.81 according to price charting.
Nice.
Very good.
Well, I picked out 10 games. I tried to not pick any games from the same series. So Grand Theft Auto, I wanted to pick a couple. I only picked one, for example. So I'll get into the 10. Burnout 3. Have to have a Burnout game on the list. And they're all cheap. So Burnout was one of the first titles I added to this. And Crash Mode especially. So Crash Mode is the best. I actually was playing this multiplayer with my buddy like 2 weeks ago upstairs. So you mentioned Spyro. Well, I don't believe Spyro on PS2 was as good as, say, PS1 Spyro, but there is another series that I believe peaked on PS2, and that was Ratchet and Clank. So I had to go with my favorite, which is Up Your Arsenal. Amazing title, and it's pretty cheap too. Black Label copy was $15.49. One that Finn showed, and one of my more pricey ones, but you have to have this one for an essential PS2 collection, and that is The Simpsons Hit and Run. I actually saved this for the end to see how much money I had left over, because if I didn't have enough, I was going to put Road Rage in there, because Road Rage is just as good, but Hit and Run's just a little bit better, and unfortunately, it's a bit more expensive. So in North America, this title is called Bully. However, the name got changed in PAL, and it's called Canis Kemen Edit. Of course, This is Bully. Fantastic title. Wish it would get a remake or a sequel. And it's still really cheap. This one was $17.50.
Bully almost made my list, but I went with Grand Theft Auto instead.
Here's my second most expensive one. If you know me, you'll know I love this game, and that is Scarface. I was surprised at how expensive the American copy is. You're looking at $45, I believe, where the PAL copy is a bit cheaper. But to keep it in uniform, I use the North American pricing as well. So Scarface is definitely an essential. I wanted to pick a driving simulator game, and there's no better driving game than Gran Turismo 4. Absolutely amazing. I've had hundreds of hours into this as a kid. I really love the white cover we got in the PAL region. I believe it's the only game that has the white cover. which is kind of cool.
Is the white case unique to PAL as well?
Yeah, the white case, I mean. Sorry. One that Will called out before, but my favorite game.
Uh-oh. Does everybody freeze up, or is it just me?
No, he's
Game on the
freezing a little bit.
One of the best games ever made.
Figs, you're
Here's done.
You're buffering.
Trying to buffer a little.
Yeah, it's only got one bar. I don't know what's going on. Next one, we have Metal Gear Solid 3. This is a fantastic Metal Gear Solid game, and it's pretty cheap too. It was only $13.29, so it has to be an essential title. There is Substance as well, but Substance is pretty expensive, so I won't do Snake Eater. Finn showed this one, absolute classic. I loved it back in the day as a kid, and I still love it today. And that, of course, is Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
Hard to go past Kingdom Hearts. And I would pick number 1 over number 2 myself. And another one that Finn showed, and it was hard to choose between one, but I'd say this is my favorite Grand Theft Auto. Of course, Vice City.
Oh, yeah.
Can't beat Vice City.
You just can't.
That was this week's homework, guys.
It was glorious.
That's fucking. This is one of my favorite. We did this before with the PS3, I guess, when Ricky was on.
Yeah. It's not like a 5-minute job like this. I'm sure it took you all half an hour to an hour to make that list, correct?
Yeah, it took me a good 45 minutes, and it's like when you're done and you're thinking about it, it's like, oh, what about this? What about this? Nobody should have played it. No, yeah.
You know how many budget greatest hits titles I put in there because I know all the budget ones. It's like, okay, let me put some like better titles in there. Start siphoning out. I only ended up with one greatest hits title, but when I started,
so you can sneak a $200 game in there.
6 or 7 of them. Speaking of greatest hits, and you said Ratchet and Clank up your arsenal. Here is what I am going to say. This is an example of a variant, right? So everything on the front cover art is completely identical. If we take a look at the spine, if I get the glare out of the way, it's technically a different game because the serial number is different.
Is that the only difference? Is the SL?
No, there's more. So Sony classifies this as a different game. I'm assuming this might have been a misprint as far as the serial number is concerned. The UPC is also different between the two. I am way off camera. So there you go. There is a kind of an easy one to miss, variant of a variant on the greatest hits full library. If anyone ever wants to go for that, the greatest hits library is kind of a mess because there's at least 10 or 12 titles that might have had like greatest hits cover arts, but only received a black label disc. So you'll be pulling your hair out trying to find a greatest hits disc. Does not exist. Another one, this one's a little bit more obvious, a variant of a variant. This one is technically a template misprint. It's missing.
There's no name on the front cover.
It's missing the title.
Oh shit! Look at that.
So someone forgot to enable the title during the printing process or however they do their template process. And this one's a little bit more uncommon. Besides that, everything else is pretty much the same. I'll start covering, greatest hits eventually in my daily videos.
And I can see that happening with SpongeBob because if you look at the cover without, like hold up the one without the rating, you can tell what game it is. It's SpongeBob.
Oh, absolutely.
The guy printing it's like, yeah, it's SpongeBob. Like, I know what that is by looking at the characters.
Hey, Finn, refresh my memory. There's a game. It's got a helicopter on the cover, city in the title, but the spine on
City Crisis
is black, and on one, and then the spine actually has the printing on the name printed on the other one, and I guess the one with the actual print on the spine is more common. Is that correct? The black one is more common.
So you're talking about City Crisis for the PS2. The name on the actual spine itself is missing completely. It's there's black, no name on it. So if it's on your shelf, it looks like a blank PS2 game. Like you don't even know what game it is unless you actually know. From my experience, it's probably about a 50-50.
Really?
If you take a random listing from eBay, you probably have a 50-50 chance of finding the misprint, which doesn't have the spine name, and then the ones that do have the spine name. The problem is a lot of eBay listers only take a photo of the back or the front.
Yeah.
They don't really showcase the spine. That's when I list games, I take a photo like this.
Oh, cool. Fucking spread that shit for me, man.
Just kind of something I've learned over the years. It's like, let me do that courtesy for those kind of, I don't know, more exquisite collectors that might be looking for minute details. Like sometimes I do. Like that serial number on the lower hand of the spine.
Yeah.
I have every one of my games documented with that number. So if I want to search by serial number instead of, game name, I can do that as well. I know before we did our those 10 games for the $200 budget, our homework, I was going to showcase everyone like the example of like sticker variants and whatnot. I actually do have a whole set that received exclusive sticker variants, and they are all NASCAR games.
Are they on the cover or are they on the seal? Or
So they are actually on the case. So if I show you, GameCube also had this exclusive sticker. So nothing on the front, but if we go to the back, there's a Walmart exclusive peel sticker that would actually give you a code underneath it to unlock. I think it says an exclusive track in game.
Oh, that's cool. So you peel the sticker off.
You would peel it off. So most of these are peeled off. It's kind of very hard to find this. If it was sealed, I believe it would probably be underneath the seal, but it's still on the actual case itself.
I have one of those. It's got an exclusive redneck driver included.
Moving on from 2005, so we have NASCAR 06. This one also has a Walmart exclusive sticker. Same thing, peel, reveal your code, unlock a track. You could just Google this in this day and age, but I mean, back in 2006, 2005, how many people were able to, that was a neat thing that they did. Well, this copy is sealed. This is a slipcover, NASCAR 07 limited edition. It's a transparent signed sealed slipcover.
Is their signature printed on the case?
It's printed on the slipcover. It's probably printed. I really doubt that it's actually signed. They all look the same, but
rednecks do not all look the same. How dare you?
Yeah, so that's another one. And then NASCAR 08 also did the same thing with the transparent slipcover.
They're pretty cool.
So these slide right on, right off. I think both of my copies are sealed. I have an open copy as well, just to showcase, but I think I grabbed my sealed ones. But those are kind of some examples of like sticker variants. Like those are obvious, like specific major retailer sticker variants. I consider those a variant, especially if it's like for this, it has exclusive content.
Yeah, most definitely.
That you could enter. That's an absolute variant. Something. I don't even have my other one here with me.
What are you thinking?
I mean, there's others that just have kind of like normal retailer stickers. I don't consider those unless it's anything bonus like that, or if it's specifically calling something out, like there's bonus content inside, whether it's a sticker, a trading card, those I consider. So that's kind of like where I draw the line for sticker variants. Because I mean, I could just go on and on. There's a million different third-party retailers. If I wanted to count every silly sticker, that would just be never ending. It'd be really
the stickers that I find tough are the ones that are on top of the seal, not on
the seal stickers.
Yes, those are. I actually have a few of those as well that are.
And we're getting pretty late in the show. Before we wrap things up, we do have another segment.
Yes,
we do. Of course, is Meme Time with Will.
Ooh.
Oh, do we got music for this, don't we?
Oh, good Lord, my ear.
Oh, how completely unnecessary. I love it. All right, Joe, what do we got? What's first on deck? What's up first? What do we got for meme time? Oh, yes, Mystic recently moved. He's moving his messy game room. He's got a new house. But don't worry, guys. The Kawakami body pillow, yeah, that's not going anywhere. I thought that was funny anyway. What else? What's next? Finn left the room. All right, so the controller your friend is using, and then the controller they give you. Isn't this the controller? Isn't this the controller you featured in one of? Is that the Apple controller for the? I can't remember the name of the console, but anyway.
It might be.
That's a piece of shit.
Looks
Get
like
that shit out of
peripheral
there. What else we got on deck? Oh yes, DK Oldies at it again. Some guy in the PlayStation 3 modders group posted this. This is something found in the wild. You gotta love the wild. And of course, DK Oldies, this is their signature. Jesus Christ, that came out of a smoker's house for sure. Get that shit out of there. It's fucking disgusting. What's next on deck? Just give me one little taste. And it's Resident Evil 4, the classic demo. Now I want more. You're a big fan of Family Guy, Figsy, so that one's for you.
Got a whole box of popsicles in the cellar. I am too. So there you go.
What's next on deck for us? Not enough cash, stranger. Resident Evil 4 Collector's Edition. Scalpers are gonna scalp. There we go.
God.
$539.
$540.
It was $250 at retail.
Okay.
But yeah, GameStop fucked everybody. Everybody who ordered it in store. They just said no. Sorry, we're not gonna have them. So you can only get them through the mail. And even a good chunk of those people who got it through the mail, they got fucked too. But yeah, there's that. What's next? First person to enter an ancient tomb in centuries finds upgrades to a machine gun. Yeah, let's go. Or the fucking the candles are still lit. You know, we've all played a fucking Tomb Raider game. Yeah, but that's just standard video game logic. The consoles I owned growing up, according to my mom, Nintendo, and Nintendo.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a common trope. Yeah, all mom video games. The moms are Nintendo. My mom.
But you got 2 out of 4, right? Or 2 out of 6.
What's up next? So what's new with the game? EA Sports. We changed the number on the cover. That'll be $60, please.
FIFA.
Fucking FIFA. You know, Madden. It's all the fucking same shit.
Oh, don't tell that to a Madden fan.
Yeah, there's all 4 of them. No, I'm kidding. It's fucking the RPG from Super Mario RPG. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. This just tickles me. You showed me one earlier this week. What was it? It was similar. I forget. Anyway,
I can't even remember what it was. It was something like that.
What was next? Yeah, this is an oldie but a goodie. The PS2 game just flat out gave me the most devastating burn. It's for a really disturbing image. Flip over the disc, and it's you ugly motherfucker. It's you. That's an oldie but a goodie. Is that it? Oh, trophy hunting before. Clear the hardest difficulty. Spend over 200 hours in story /MP mode. Finish all side contents and achieve 100%. Fail and try again 100 dozens of times. Trophy hunting now, and this is true. 1 out of 10 shovelware, 15-minute plat, auto pops, paid out $2 to earn. This is true.
It's so true. It's 100%
it's fucking
true.
Yeah. And if you collect trophies and you're the dickhead on the bottom, you hang your head in shame and leave the room immediately. All right. PS5 brought in for HDMI repair. Kid said I pushed the cable in a little too hard. If you are a fan of The Godfather, they massacred my little boy. I think that's the quote. I can't remember. Look what they've done to my boy. Oh, poor bastard. But anyway, oh yeah, this song was in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I love this meme. It's a good one. But anyway. It's at it. Oh, one more. Yeah, they call me 007, 0 kills, 0 assists. Yeah, I'm gonna call it James Jordan on this one. So there you go, James. Oh, guys, you guys in Pal Raising, get ready. Pal, out the 31st, the 31st of March, 2023. Omori is coming your way. Get ready for it. That's March 31st. Be ready.
They're doing the midnight launch.
Well, I'd be there if I could be there, but no, I'm NTSC, so anyway, and that's this week's edition of Meme Time. Anyway, Finn, Finn, what do you got to plug for us? I mean, I know you got recently gone really heavy, really hard on this YouTube channel of yours. What's the where's the address? What's the address? Where can they find you? Where can they see your shit?
I mean, you could just search my name. I try to keep it relatively simple. Finn Ravens on YouTube. We also have a was it a PlayStation Collectors and Pickup group on Facebook? I made probably around the same time, or no, years before, like when I was collecting for the PS2 library very heavily. That's on Facebook. It's called PlayStation Collectors and Pickups. But I'm relatively easy to find. I'm always available if anyone has questions or wants to show me something unique that they might think I don't have. I am a NTSC, so North American exclusive. I don't really collect PAL or Japanese titles, but if you guys got something neat, I'd love to see it.
Finn, just so you know, you are the outside of the admins and mods, you're the only person in the PS2 Ain't Dead group who has just what's the word I'm looking, carte blanche. You can just post shit and you got full permission. Because
thank you.
Yeah, the PS2 debt, it's like 39. We're closing on 40,000 members, but you're the only one who can just it doesn't require post approval. And
I have noticed that. Yeah, thank you for that.
Your shit goes straight through, and you're also, I see a lot in PS2 Collectors of America. So shout out to Chris Schramm if he's listening or watching. That's where I met you, and that's where I cut my teeth on this whole fucking collecting business. But yeah, so yeah, Finn Ravens, find them on Facebook. PS2 Ain't Dead, PlayStation Collectors of America, and of course PlayStation Collectors. Was it PlayStation Pickups?
PlayStation Collectors and Pickups.
PlayStation Collectors and Pickups. Forgive me.
I have it linked through my YouTube channel, so I mean, if you guys find my YouTube channel, you should be linking my own description.
All the links are in the description too, guys. So
that as well.
Check out Finn's page.
Thank you, Fizz.
Finn, it was a pleasure having you on the podcast. All the best of your future PS2 collecting, finishing the greatest hits set, as well as all those variants that I'm sure you will discover in the future.
Do we have a little more time, or did you want to kind of end it?
I have
two more piles. I know my wife is getting hungry too, so I can't make it too much longer. I didn't even get a chance to go through my favorite games of all time on the PS2, minus the ones that we kind of like budgeted in. So I guess I can go over those pretty quickly. We have Big Mother Truckers. That's a fun one.
Dude, I bought a haunted copy of that game. I shit you not. I've told the story many times, but yeah, fuck that game.
What I have playing on my upper CRT TV is Castlevania Lament of Innocence. That is my favorite Castlevania of all times. It is just a glorious Castlevania if you guys have never played it.
Much better looking than that bullshit on the NES. Anyway, continue.
Dark Watch. It's kind of a horror shooter. Why is the glare so bad all of a sudden? But yeah, if you guys have never played Dark Watch, give that one a go. It is getting a little pricey. I actually have a variant of this one that came bundled in a box that's about 3 times as thick. Comes with an exclusive t-shirt that's bundled in a cardboard exclusive box. I guess I could grab that real quick.
I had Dark Watch. What the fuck's a bundle watch? I had Dark Watch in my collection for a minute.
So you have the front. If you're trying to find this, good luck. I mean, they look identical. You know, you could see the huge difference. It's bundled with a t-shirt on the inside. Everything art-wise is exactly the same, minus the thickness of the bundle. Yeah. It's basically in between the size of a double and triple, double pack or trilogy or triple.
What size is the shirt?
I believe it is a large or an XL. My shirt and game inside this is sealed, even though the outer wrapping of this has been removed when I got it. So there is that. Then we have, of course, Def Jam Fight for New York. Minus it being kind of an expensive game as a fighter game, this is very, very fun, and so is Vendetta. As Will was talking Dragon Ball Z, I loved Budokai 3. That was probably my favorite of all time.
A little bit cheaper too. So
it is quite a bit cheaper. Once you get into the Tenkaichis, they're just stupid. I remember I went to this is probably 2003, 2004. I went to my first, major vacation with my family. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old. Played this at an actual arcade, Gauntlet Dark Legacy. This game is fun as hell if you like hack and slash, but kind of a top-down button mashing game. This is a really good game. It's 4 players.
Yeah, I played a lot of that in the arcades back in the day.
Yeah, it is a good one. We have my favorite Resident Evil, Code Veronica. This one is the 5th. I believe it's the 10th or no, it's the 5th anniversary edition.
Does it say Devil May Cry on the cover?
Yeah, so this includes a Devil May Cry bonus disc. And what's really cool is if I show you the bonus disc, that is pretty much what the demo disc looks like. Well, that
demo CD, that's cool.
That is the very common one. I have a disc variant for this one. If I compare the two.
Oh, so they're both demos. Okay, I got you.
It is the exact same demo. It is just, well, you can see 2 different print releases. The one on top is extremely hard to come by, and I probably using a little bit too much emphasis on that. Maybe 1 in every 30 listings. You could find it randomly still, but I have a feeling these are going to be sought after. I know a buddy of mine that has like 20 of these. just for like future trades and stuff, because it is going to be one of those that are like, hey, you're a variant collector, I have something that you don't. Want to trade and help me out as well? So one of those things. Then we have love Scarface. The World Is Yours. Such a great game. If you like GTA, I mean, it's kind of similar, but
do you guys get the collector's edition over there as well?
Trying to think, do I have a box set?
No, so we got a single case one.
Oh,
World Is Yours collector's edition.
That's right.
Comes with like a map, a movie. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got the big box. Okay, so ours is just the single case.
Yeah, ours is a side slipcover. I guess sleeve, yeah. But yeah, it comes with a poster, bonus material, bonus disc. I think like a deleted extended. I'll just let you guys kind of read it.
It's got game walkthrough with the producer commentary. That's pretty cool.
Jesus.
For some reason, I was thinking this had like a bonus, like deleted scene from the movie or something. I think I'm thinking of something else, but yeah, this is slipcover box set variant. So of course I have that one. It's common minus the price. This one is obviously a lot more expensive than just the base game.
If you want to play it, greatest hits version's cheap.
I love the gun cons.
Oh yeah,
the light guns for the PlayStation 2. I have all the box sets. There's 6 box sets that include gun cons in the PlayStation 2 for the NTSC region. This is my favorite out of the 5 of them. There's one of these that the box set includes 2 light guns instead of 1. But Time Crisis 3 is probably the funnest one. You just if you ever want to like invite a friend over, bust this out. You guys will have a great night.
Now, Finn, question behind you. You got a widescreen CRT, and this comes up all the time in the PS2 group. So can you just tell me now, does the gun con work on your widescreen with CRT behind you?
It actually does not work on the Sony Wiga, which is the one below. Yeah. It does work on my Sony Trinitron, which is above. The Sony Wiga is actually probably the last year they made the CRTs for that model. I believe that TV came out in 2006. And I mean, brand new. I think it was like $2,400. Comes with the stand and everything. Like, it was a very high-end TV. It even has an HDMI port, believe it or not.
Oh, that's cool.
You could imagine 2006 and you have an HDMI port in a TV.
Yeah,
that's unheard of. There's 7 input channels on that. It is crazy. The expandability on that.
Great for everything except your light gun games.
Unfortunately, it doesn't play. It doesn't support the light guns. It's whatever that's CRT transitioning technology was just. Yeah. It just didn't work with it. So
they were looking for the future. They weren't trying to hold stuff from the past.
I like Twisted Metal. I'm a big fan of the series. My favorite one is probably Twisted Metal 4 on the PS1. But Twisted Metal Black holds it own for sure.
2 is my favorite. Yeah.
Okay, went through all those variants. Here's a kind of a dungeon crawler that I need to get back into. I feel like I kind of gave up on this one. It was a little bit on the tougher side. So this is Wizardry, Tale of the Forsaken Lands. It is kind of an expensive one, being an Atlas title. But if you like dungeon crawling, kind of grindy RPGs, this would be your game. It is kind of, I think it's, what year did this come out? I'm pretty sure this is an older title as well. So the controls are pretty simplistic. And then the last one, of course, I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Never got into Pokemon, but
I never played Yu-Gi-Oh. I played the crap out of Forbidden Memories on PS1.
Forbidden Memories is probably my favorite of all time. But holy cow, if you want to shoot yourself in the foot with RNG, that is the game to do it with. It will screw you every time. I love the
speed runs in that because of how much RNG it is. It's got like one of the most famous speed runs. Oh, you've got the card too.
Oh shit, nice.
I have 3 copies of this game because there's 2 other variants. There is a cover art variant where I went over the video, I think recently or within the last week or 2, where the Konami logo is inverted, or it's like up here on the top, and then like the whole image is just inverted. So I have 3 copies of the greatest hits and then the black label variant of this, and so I had to have 3 sets of the cards, which I do. Those cards aren't terrible to find, but I've noticed over the last month they've jumped in price.
That's interesting. So on PSP, there's 4 Yu-Gi-Oh games. My friend just recently completed his PSP set, and he's still missing all 4 of the cards. Like, the cards are much rarer than the games themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, that's where the value is.
Yeah, a little extra shit always gets lost.
I mean, like a sealed copy of Forbidden Memories with like cards, I think it's over $1,000, if not more. It's something stupid.
But if you look at Yu-Gi-Oh card collecting, it makes sense. You know, there's thousands of Yu-Gi-Oh collectors out there.
I enjoyed the cartoon when it came out. I used to watch it on Just for Kids, or whatever the fuck it was on UPN. Anyway, and I used to go out and just buy card sets just so I could fucking enter the code into the fucking video game and get my free card. And I still got a couple of random cards and random boxes lying around in my fucking boxes of history. Who knows? But yeah, that's I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I like Pokemon. I don't know. I guess I like card games. Nah, fuck that.
But I never got into Magic of the Gathering. I know a lot of my friends are into that. I just never got into it, so I have no knowledge on it. It just at this point, it's like I don't know, and I kind of don't care to learn it, unfortunately.
If you look at Magic, like the Magic video games are pretty underground. Like, only people that play the card games are really into the video games. But if you look at, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, the cartoons,
right?
Yeah,
they
they're
just
more
really
mainstream.
got into mainstream.
The Magic had a couple digital download games on PS3, if I recall. I tried, but I could never get into them. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me.
If you're ever interested in like artwork and stuff, Magic has some of the most amazing artwork on some of those cards.
All right,
hey guys, I think we'll call this one a night. We're 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm pretty much set. I've covered everything I wanted to, at least. So,
Finn,
it's an absolute pleasure having you on, Finn.
Oh, you guys are awesome as well.
Collection of this.
I was really worried for you, Finn. I thought you were going to be extra nervous guest, but you fucking pulled this shit off like a fucking
A little
champ,
nervous
so.
in the beginning, but I mean,
like I said,
I couldn't even tell if you were. That was great.
I told you this shit wears off after 10 minutes.
No, it really does. So,
hey guys, next week we will go back to the normal times. We have JB Collects coming on the podcast. JB is a collector, reseller, and YouTuber from the UK. He does a series on YouTube that is the $10 game collection, building a collection of Xbox games starting from $10. It's really interesting, as well as lots of different videos on tips to do with collecting and how to build collections really cheap. So it should be really good to have John on the show. Guys, I've been Figsy. We've got Will, Finn. You guys have been awesome, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.
Good night, everybody.
Take care, everyone.